Hi, this is Half-Fi. Welcome to Sessions at AOL. Part of the Half-Fi sound is that where we're from, Staines, right, it's just close enough to London to have that sort of, a bit of the spirit come out, but also everything gets sucked into London. So it's quite sort of, if you're into anything but the mainstream, it's quite, it's a bit of a cultural desert, really. There's no late trains back from London, there's no late buses, so it's a little bit insular. So there's kind of nothing to do there, and you end up making your own entertainment, and we'd put on a club night and we'd DJ and we'd play all our favourite records to our friends. And when we came to make this record, again, we played we'd listen to anything. It wouldn't necessarily be rock or whatever, we'd just be listening to reggae, dub, soul, house, hip-hop, whatever, drum and bass, whatever, as long as it was good. And that almost came together in the sound of this record. When we said, we see bands like U2 as our competition, it's not to diss someone like Razorlight in any way, because that Razorlight single, Stumble and Fall, was one of my favourite tracks of last year. It's just sort of saying that there is a very kind of attitude in Britain in particular, where people just want to be big fish in small ponds. And we don't see the point of that. We've always wanted to. We're not ashamed to say that we want to be successful. We've never had a lot. I want to see the world. I want to see different places. I want to see different countries, and I've never been able to afford to do that before. The only way of doing it was being in a band or joining the army or the navy, and I can't get up in the mornings. So that was out of the question. So it was that's where we want to get to, and that's why we say people like Eminem and U2, they're the competition, because they're there. That's what you should aim for. You've always got to aim higher. They were really great. We did 2 tours. The first one was with the Bravery. That was only 4 days, but that was really cool. They're lovely guys. They're a great live band, and in both occasions, it was great for us because they were selling out venues. They were really hot, and I think people were coming down to check us out as well, because we were first on. But so we were pretty much playing on our first proper tour to sold out venues. With the Kaiser Chiefs, who are again, a great live band, and also thankfully decent blokes, no egos or any of that sort of rubbish. They also had another band with them called the Cribs, who were a really great band and also decent guys. And so you get in there and you're playing. We played to 2,500 people on one of the shows, and this was our first tour. So that was just brilliant for us, because it means we can get in front of people, get people to know what we're up to, and it's a fast learning curve though, because you from 1 minute you're playing to a couple of hundred people in a back room of a pub. And all of a sudden you're on a big stage in front of 2,500 people. But obviously, hopefully we're going to have to get used to that. Got to the stage where if we wanted to rehearse, we had to drive into town. You spend 50 quid for 3 hours. And by the time you've set up and packed down again, you have about an hour. So we thought, it's got to be cheaper to rent somewhere. So we found an old lock-up in basically a warehouse that had been turned into lots of different units and all that kind of stuff. And we started rehearsing there, and then we thought, let's try and record something, see how it sounds. And we just borrowed mics off people. We had a couple of bits ourselves, borrowed bits of equipment, or gradually put together this little studio. The studio was £60 a week, and it took us about 5 weeks. We can only work in the evenings and weekends, because next door is a guttering company and the other side is a pet food shop. And obviously if you play during the day, they start getting a bit moody and banging on the walls and this kind of thing. So we did that, and we kind of just put it out there thinking, is anyone going to be into all this? Is anyone going to be into what we're doing? We never consciously tried to follow a scene or anything like that. We just listened to records we loved and made this record. And from sort of, kind of out of nowhere, it started going a little bit crazy. People were picking up on it. Record companies were phoning us up. And it got to the stage where we had every record company in the UK phoning us up, and then at 7 o'clock they'd stop, and every company in the US would phone us up. And we had Rick Rubin, who's done all sorts of amazing records, Johnny Cash, Beastie Boys, to name but two. saying this could be a landmark record.